So the first thing you need to do is check your airspace restrictions prior to the flight. That's probably the most important step. You don't want to find yourself flying in, I don't know, a military area or within an airport flight restriction zone or anything like that. So I jump onto dronesafetymap.com, which is my preferred website for checking airspace restrictions. And you can see here, London is an absolute minefield for airspace restrictions, but really what you're looking out for is mainly these red areas here. And when you click on one, it will bring up the airspace and the airspace restriction that you have there. So what you're looking for is vertical limits. This piece of airspace is in effect between surface and 2,000 feet above ground level. Now that means that it applies to drones, right? Because we're only going 400 feet from ground level. Now some of these airspace restrictions, they show as being from, say, 4,000 feet or whatever, which means it will not apply to drones because you're not going to be flying that high. Okay, so that's one thing to check. The other thing to check is who kind of owns or runs that airspace. So this, in this instance, is London City. Okay, and if you want to fly there, you need to call them and find out how you go about getting permission to fly there. Okay, obviously if you're outside of that zone and it doesn't show as an airspace restriction, then you're good to go. Now I'm just going to click on a few of these blue ones here. Okay, so that's just a kind of NOTAM that somebody submitted. Again, these are all just flight reports. Okay, this red sort of polygon shape here looks like it's HMP Pentonville, so that's a prison. So obviously you've got airports, prisons, military bases, any kind of sensitive areas generally will tend to have an airspace restriction. Now one thing to note in London is that for some reason we've got this EGR 160 which has popped up recently, but it's actually, despite it being red and saying this piece of airspace is in effect between surface and 999,000 feet, it doesn't actually apply to drones. I'm not sure what it is. It covers basically the whole of London, but it is not applicable. Whereas, and this is just something you need to know, unfortunately. So EGR 157, for instance, Hyde Park. So a lot of the parks in London have restrictions around them. You've got City of London, etc., etc. So we also sometimes have temporary restrictions. So if I click on this one here, we've got a restricted area, temporary, active for UAS only. So that is relevant to drones. It's in effect between surface and 26,000 feet. It's a temporary flight restriction. It's active from March the 12th to June the 10th. And then you can just read the full NOTAM text here. NOTAM is a notice to airmen, and it gives you more ideas. So it's within a 2 nautical mile radius of this area, and it's, in my experience, possibly something to do with the military. Now you'll see loads of these yellow markers on your maps, and more often than not I find that they are glider sites. And what have we got here? Yeah, it's sort of small, very small airports, not usually commercial airports, maybe quite often private airports. So yeah, Badminton private airport, Charlton Park private airport, Chavenage private airport, Nymphsfield glider site, Aston Down glider site. More often than not, that is what these yellow ones will be, and they are more warnings than anything else. It's to say that there's an increased risk if you're wanting to fly your drone within this area. There is an increased risk of flying there. You are not restricted from flying there, but for instance, for an active glider site, use your common sense, and you would do well to, if you've got a flight within that area, to sort of call ahead and just check in with them and make sure that they're not going to have a ton of gliders going up, and that's going to obviously be dangerous. So Drone Safety Map is an excellent resource because it usually shows NOTAMs on there as well. Again, NOTAMs are notice to airmen, so they're not sort of necessarily permanent restriction zones. They may be just a warning or a notification that some kind of activity is going to be happening in a certain area. Now you can also check, just to sort of be belt and braces, NOTAM info. So it's notaminfo.com website. And then on here, you can just zoom into the area. Let's say we're in London or around London, the area that you intend to fly. And again, you can just click on any areas that are marked and read the NOTAM and just, make yourself aware of what's happening in the area. So for instance, you'll often get cranes pop up. So we've got a lit crane at this location. And you do need to be careful with cranes and drones. Obviously, that poses a significant risk. Now, the next thing I would do is just check on the weather. So if you're planning to fly, say, tomorrow, just check on the weather for rain and in particular wind. And you're looking at the wind gusts, okay? So there's the steady wind and then the wind gusts, and it's the wind gusts that generally will tend to cause you problems with your drone. So just make sure that the wind is not gusting to above your the rating for your drone, which you'll be able to find in the specifications. Now, it's important to note that those wind figures are figures that are kind of predicted on surface level, ground level, and it's amazing how different the wind can be at ground level to 100 meters up in the air. And there are some kind of drone specific weather apps where you can set those kind of heights and see what the wind is predicted to be gusting at those higher altitude levels, which is also very handy to use. Now, the next thing I would always do if I'm going to fly in a location that I don't know, I'm not a local to that location, is just check where I'm due to be sort of taking off and landing from, just to make sure that you've got a safe space to do that in, and it's not on private property or anything like that. Obviously, with the mini series of drones, you're generally pretty good to go. Obviously, just don't, try not to cause a nuisance, but, you can take off from a kind of pavement or something like that. With the larger drones, depending on whether you've got an A2 CFC or a GVC or none of the above, will dictate how close you can get to buildings and people. So, for instance, if you don't have an A2 CFC or GVC, you have to remain 150 meters away from any kind of built up areas. So you would then be looking for, open fields, parks, that kind of thing. But then you have to take into account that they can be private property. So you've got to watch out that you're not trespassing. I prefer to use Google Earth over Google Maps. It just has a few more useful tools that you can use for drone flight planning. So for instance, you can get the ruler up and draw a circle around an area that you might be proposing to fly from. And you can see, for instance, in this example, that where I would be proposing to fly from, which is the center of the circle, the radius around there to the nearest houses is kind of 90 meters-ish. So I would, with my GVC, be okay to take off from there, bearing in mind that I've got a 30-meter radius on takeoff and landing. And then once I'm in the air, I need to be 50 meters from any uninvolved people. So that's about it for this, and I hope it helps you with your drone flight planning, and happy flying.